Hi, my name is Gwen Peterson. I'm a certified independent health coach and global director with Optavia. If this is the first time you've stumbled upon my channel, welcome. Make sure to click the subscribe button so you receive notifications every time I load a new video. And if this video ends up offering you value, please make sure to click that like button. And then last but not least, I do have a closed group over on Facebook called Gather with Gwen. It's where I first announce when I'm doing weight loss challenges or things like that. So come on over and join us in that group for some of the little sneak peek things that I do. So I am about to talk in the video about why I have failed on the Optavia program. This video will be a little bit long, but if you are the person that has gone on and off, wants real food, doesn't think this is sustainable, this video is for you. And if you don't have time to watch all of it, make sure you like it and share it, maybe text it to yourself so that you carve out time to listen to this, because I think that this might be the missing link for you. And it's been a conversation I've had with so many clients this week that I wanted to make sure that if you're not my client and you're the person struggling, that you have this information that might help you keep moving your health forward. So make sure to sit back, relax, and I hope that you enjoy what I'm about to say. All right, everyone. So there's a very specific reason why a lot of people fail on Optavia. Are you ready? Put a "I'm ready to know why people fail" in the comments if you are trying to figure this out and why you might have, and I don't like the word fail, why you have gone on and off this program. It's because you don't understand the program. Many people misinterpret that our program is the 5-in-1. You are in the 5-in-1 prison, and that gets to stop. If you go on and off and on and off, I don't care if you were doing 5 fuelings and 1 lean and green a day, or you were doing, HCG, that's a low caloric intake. I'm just talking low caloric intake for a minute, right? If you did HCG on and off and on and off, that's gonna jack your metabolism up as well. Or if you did keto and you're shooting for 1,000 calories and then you go off and you eat 12 or you eat 2,000 calories, right? When you go on and off of anything that's a caloric restriction and then you go back and forth, you're trashing your adrenal glands. You're messing with your cortisol levels. Go listen to Elizabeth Benton's Primal Potential podcast all about this. Start with number 1 and work your way through if you want to understand how you're trashing your body by yo-yoing on every program. Optavia is no different. But what I want you to sit and take note of, get a piece of paper and pen out, write this down. Our program is not the 5-in-1. The packages just make it easier to eat balanced every 3 hours, to be eating 6 small balanced meals a day. I am going to repeat that. Our program is not the 5-in-1. Our program is teaching you how to eat balanced every 3 hours to stabilize your blood sugar, to help all of your adrenals and your metabolism and everything fire back online again. And I'm throwing a disclaimer in there. I am not claiming that Optavia will help fix adrenals and metabolism. I'm telling you scientifically that when you eat balanced every 3 hours, whether it's out of the grocery store or out of our packages, you will heal your adrenals and your metabolism and help your hormones balance, okay? So stop the madness of the 5-in-1 if you keep going on and off, because something's not clicking for you. And I highly suggest you go over to my other video that explains transition and maintenance, because if you talk 5-in-1, this is lean meats and vegetables. The reason why people go off, like the last client I just chatted with, because I want fruit, I want whole grains. Throw in the chats, I feel like I can't stick with this packaged food because I miss grains or fruits. Throw in the comments what you are missing. Okay, if our program is to teach you to eat balanced, is eating, she wants peaches. Where she lives, peaches are in season right now. So I said, okay, go get your peaches. Put them on a food scale, plug it into MyFitnessPal. So I don't know, 2 ounces of peaches, let's say, whatever you want. Plug it into MyFitnessPal. Figure out how many carbs are in your 2 ounces of peaches. Then, normally, you could eat it with a piece of chicken, but you probably don't want to. Go find your Greek yogurt that you like that has high protein and low carbs. And let's just say mathematically that the 2 ounces of peaches, I don't like peaches, so I don't know the numbers. No, I don't like peaches. Let's say the 2 ounces of peaches are 25 grams of sugar, okay? That's what MyFitnessPal told you. So now you need to eat enough Greek yogurt to have 25 grams of protein. That just capped the sugar in the peaches. So, and like in Primal Potential's podcast, I think it's podcast number 8, she talks about if you ate those peaches by itself, spikes your blood sugar. Your body naturally will deploy insulin to bring the blood sugar down. When you deploy that insulin, guess what else gets deployed? Cortisol. So now you have insulin and cortisol on board over those darn peaches, and now those peaches store as fat and inflammation because you cannot use sugar, carbs, fruit, grains for fuel if there's insulin and cortisol on board. It stores as fat and inflammation. So if you want that fruit, you want that grain, it just needs to be paired equally with protein, okay? Comment below now that you're understanding if I want fruit, I just need to pair it with equal protein. Put in the comments equal carbs and protein. So here's what I said to my client. The 5-in-1 is the sprint to the finish line. What I can tell you is most people don't do well in the sprint because it's restrictive. That's why you'll hear Elizabeth Benton in her Primal Potential and her Chasing Cupcakes book, she doesn't like programs because when you do a program, it's restrictive. Here's what I'm telling you. If you are that person that keeps yo-yoing on and off, then stop. Stop the 5-in-1 and sit with your coach. Now, your coach might not know the science of this as well. So guess what? You get to go listen to the Primal Potential podcast. You get to go in your Habits of Health book and read the chapter on transition and maintenance. And also my other video on transition and maintenance has the documentation I use to teach all my clients how to pair the carbs and protein. So that's a different video. But what I said to my client is I said, okay, tell me, we'll call her Anne. Anne, what do you want to eat? Because this isn't working. I really want my peaches and I really want steel cut oats. I'm like, okay, great. So our program is to eat balanced every 3 hours. The fastest way to get there is the 5-in-1. But right now you're not even doing the 5-in-1 because you're in the yo-yo prison of the 5-in-1 in and out and in and out. So it's not working anyway, so let's stop. So what if I told you every day you could have your peaches paired correctly with the yogurt at 10 a.m. Well, flip. If I told you in the morning, because you probably would do it this way, you want steel cut oats, okay? I learned this from a trainer one time that I'm like, okay, I guess. Let's say those steel cut oats, you figure it out on the package that the 1 cup, I don't even know, I haven't had steel cut oats forever. 1 cup is 25 carbs, okay? So you need 25 grams of protein. So you can do a couple of different things. The personal trainer that I worked with, he basically said, what I always do is tell my clients to get the, like the Orgain protein powder from the grocery store that has 25 grams of protein and 5 carbs, and dump that into the steel cut oats with almond milk and then sweeten it with honey. But if you do the math of steel cut oats, honey, and almond milk, you're at about 35 carbs. Well, the problem, okay, write this down. I know this is going to be a little above and beyond. This is 4th grade math instead of 3rd grade math, okay? That scoop of the scoop of the protein powder is 25 protein, but you still have 5 carbs. So you're really only gaining 20 grams of protein out of that scoop, right? Because you still have to count for the 5 carbs that are in there. So this is pairing 20 carbs, but over here you're at 40. So what does that tell me? 1 scoop is not enough. You would need to put 2 scoops of that protein powder, whether it's vanilla or chocolate, into the steel cut oats with the honey and the almond milk, and that would pair it. Or I don't like eating that. So if I made the steel cut oats with the honey and the almond milk, I would then make that protein powder into a shake and drink the 2 scoops as I'm eating my steel cut oats. And now I'm at 40 carbs with 40 protein, if you want to say it that way, right? So mathematically, you're equaling it. So let's say Anne does that every day at 10 a.m. And then she does at 3 in the afternoon her peaches and yogurt. And so her day looks like a shake in the morning, steel cut oats at 10, a bar at noon, at 3 is the fruit with the yogurt, regular lean and green, and a brownie bake before bed. Okay. Did she eat balanced every 3 hours? Yes. Did she follow our program? She absolutely did, right? Our program is balanced carbs and protein every 3 hours. But what you need to remember is because the steel cut oats have more calories, that protein powder has more calories, the fruit has more calories, and the yogurt has more calories, she's going to go from the 5 and 1, if she was doing the 5 and 1 at, let's say, 1,000 calories, to maybe 1,400 calories on the day, right? So she's increased her caloric intake by, let's say, 400 calories on the day, which tells me, will she lose weight? Yes, because she's balanced, and probably those calories, if she was eating 1,400 calories of Twinkies, she's going to gain weight. But the 1,400 calories that stabilize the blood sugar are going to naturally flip on the metabolism, help those adrenals heal better from all the yo-yoing, get the hormones a little balanced, you'll sleep better and all of that. But because she's adding another 400 calories a day, she's going to just lose slower. That's fine, right? Our program is not the 5 and 1. Our program is balanced eating. So when somebody says to me, Gwen, I think I'm just going to shift to a 3 and 3. I'm like, okay, well, what are your other two lean and greens? Well, I guess I'll just do a chicken salad, and I guess I'll just do a egg white omelet. I'm like, boring. The reason why you want to do a 3 and 3 is because you want real food, but you don't want the quiche and all that. You want the fruit. You want the grains. Do it. If you're not, if you take nothing out, I'm sorry I'm 13 minutes in, but I know many of you need to hear this, okay? Right now, you're not doing the 5 and 1 because you're not even losing 5 pounds a month. Put in the comments if you are doing the 5 and 1, but you're not doing it because you keep yo-yoing. Throw the word yo-yo in if you're trying to stay in the 5 and 1 prison, but you're really only losing 5 pounds a month. If you're lucky, right? Put yo-yo or 5 and 1 prison in the comments, all right? But what if you do 2nd grade math and do our program correctly and you balance your blood sugar every 3 hours and you do like Anne where she does the steel cut oats paired with protein to stabilize her blood sugar, and in the afternoon she does her peaches and yogurt. She's probably gonna lose more than 4 or 5 pounds a month, and she got to eat what she wanted, and guess what? She's also eating healthy long term. So she and I had a good conversation about that, of whether or not she wants to make this a sprint and lock in on the 5 and 1, but she better do daily mental component, or the 5 and 1 becomes a prison, and I want fruit, and I want grains, and I want blah, blah, blah. Okay, stop it. If you're going to do the 5 and 1, you better frickin' do the mental component every day, because you're going to have all that dialogue of it's in a package, I can't do this forever. Stop. You either lock and load on the 5-in-1 and daily mental component. There's a reason why you go to AA for 90 days, because you need to retrain this. But if you're that person that keeps yo-yoing, stop it, because you're never going to do it correctly and you're never going to get to your goal weight. Do the program the way it's going to work for you. And that's why it's about eating balanced every 3 hours, and it's just second grade math. Use MyFitnessPal. Figure out your thing. And you know what she said to me? She was like, okay, Gwen, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get those peaches today, and I'm going to go plug it into MyFitnessPal after I weigh it. I'll figure out the Greek yogurt that gives me equal, second grade math, write it down. And then I know I can have it if I want it. So then her next question was, and I hope you stay with me in this video. She says, Gwen, what if I did that once a week or every week or whatever? And I said, well, here's the thing is, I can't tell you scientifically, if you did the steel cut oats with the Premier Protein Shake, did you stabilize your blood sugar? Yes. So will you stay in fat burn? Maybe. It just won't be as deep of a state of fat burn, but you did eat more protein than you would have, and you did eat more carbs than you would have, but it was balanced. So really, you did stay balanced. You didn't spike your blood sugar. You just had more calories on the day. Now, I'm not telling you to go now exercise it off, because then that just screws you totally up. But my point is, I will throw a disclaimer in there. I have been doing my program. As you guys have seen, I'm now down 32 pounds. Results not typical. I work really hard. No disclaimer here, or I'll put the disclaimer in. But I'll tell you, my maintenance or my weight loss phase is this. Do I do 5-in-1? I do. Do I do 5-in-1 without a fueling and it being something else? I do. Do I do a 5-in-1 or really 3 fuelings, 2 somethings, and 1 lean and green? I do, because that's the frickin' program. Balance the blood sugar. So here's what I'm telling you. The last month, I'm still losing tons of inches, right? My coach and I were talking about this the other day. It cracks me up that I'm a client too, right? So here's what I do. When I lost weight before, because I didn't understand what the heck was going on with Optavia, how it worked, I just was like, what's the big deal if I go off here or there? Now I understand it. So Sunday dinner, and my in-laws, they love rolls. They hate that I try to eat healthy, whatever, right? So Sunday dinner, 2 weeks ago, we go there. I knew we were gonna have cake and ice cream, and I'm not gonna not eat cake and ice cream because I know how to eat it right, but I also get to be okay with it will slow down my scale. Will I go to fat burn? I don't know, but because I knew how to eat it right. So here was my day. Again, I'm giving you examples. Do not take this as Bible, as rules. I'm just teaching you balance, okay? They had cheeseburgers or burgers and brats, okay? So what I know is I need massive amounts of protein to counteract the small, sad slice of cake and ice cream I'm gonna have. So I'm either gonna have a bigger piece of cake and no ice cream, or a small of each, but I also kind of played with my MyFitnessPal to guesstimate how many carbs that small slice of pizza and ice cream was going to be, right? 50 carbs, okay? So what I did, they just didn't see me doing it, was I chose a double cheeseburger, 2 patties with cheese on both, right? Stacked them together, no bun, lettuce, tomato, whatever. And then I added a bratwurst. Is bratwurst on our program? Absolutely yes, because I used it to pair with protein. Is it on the 5-in-1? No, but I'm not in the 5-in-1 prison. I'm eating balanced every 3 hours. So does that bratwurst have more fat? Of course, that's why it's not on our approved lean list. But did it pair? Did it count as protein and no carbs? Yes. So I used those 2 patties, the 2 pieces of cheese, and the bratwurst to counteract the carbs that I was going to eat for dessert. Did I know that my scale would go up the next morning because it was more calories? Yes. Did I know that it would go up because I had way more fat than I should have from already choosing beef and then a bratwurst? Yes. But did I also know that my outcome was my blood sugar stayed perfectly balanced? Yes. And I also know that the scale went up due to the caloric intake, not due to carbs not being balanced, right? So here's what I would say is, if I went out of fat burn over the extra calories and extra carbs, which again, I don't know and I don't care, because it's about eating balanced. What I can tell you is me making life work within balancing every 3 hours, I'm easily still losing 8 pounds a month because I know how to pair it correctly, and I didn't eat a whole big piece of cake, and I didn't eat a whole big whole big scoop of ice cream. I figured out the math, right? So here's what I'm trying to say to you overall, and I hope your coach does not get mad that I'm saying this, but I really feel, if you're still with me, why you keep yo-yoing is because you're in the 5-in-1 prison that you want in and out and in and out. But the truth is, you're not even losing 4 to 5 pounds a week anyway, or a month anyway. So it's not working, so stop. So figure out what your things are that you want, and then figure out how to pair them correctly through my other transition and maintenance video, through Dr. A's Habits of Health, and through my Fitness Pal. It's just eating balanced every 3 hours. And again, though, if I did the ice cream every 3 hours, like let's say I did let's say I did fruit. Oh, let's say I did the steel cut oats and protein powder every 3 hours. If I did that every 3 hours, my caloric intake would be at 1800 and I'd gain weight. So it still does come into calories in, calories out. So if I chose every day that I wanted to, which I'm not driven by those things, so that's fine. But if I chose that I wanted to do that every single day at 10 a.m., then I would need to make sure that I'm doing my other times I eat as fuelings, because I'm going to use them as a tool to keep my calories low, but to keep my blood sugar stabilized, and do a lean and green, because now that steel cut oats and protein powder bump my calories up to 13 or 1400 calories, but I stayed stabilized. But if I did that 3 or 4 times in a day, now I'm going to gain weight, because it comes down to, I just put 1800 calories in my mouth, and even though they were balanced, it's too many calories unless I decided to start trying to exercise it off, and then that turns into a slippery slope. So I hope this helped you see what I'm trying to say about, don't be in the prison if you keep trying to break out. Like, it's not working, right? So figure out your thing. And if you try to do a 4 and 2 or a 3 and 3 because you just want real food, you don't want real food. You want the carbs. You don't want, I mean, I might be wrong, but I've coached a lot of people. They shift to real food on a 3 and 3 because they want real food, but they don't want the chicken salad every day for lunch. They don't want the, egg white omelet every day for breakfast. They want the fruit. They want the grains. So figure it out and eat it. But you can't be a victim to the slower weight loss if you're increasing your calories even though they're balanced. So I hope that spoke to you in a way that you can make Optavia work for you, because Optavia is not the 5-in-1. We have 8 programs out there, and our 5-in-1 is just the kickstart to stabilize your blood sugar, get rid of the excess sugar, and have something balanced to eat every 3 hours. The packages are tools. They're not a prison sentence. So if you're doing that to yourself, stop the madness, figure it out, and figure out how to pair stuff. And then, you know what, like me, my coach and I were joking. I pulled a 6-pound month last month. I pulled an 8-pound month this month, and we were sitting there together, and she goes, well, do you want to reach your goal weight faster? And I'm like, no, because I'd rather be able to balance the one dinner every other Sunday and maybe a random whatever paired with whatever once a week, and still pull a 6 to 8 pound month. That's mental health. That's not a sprint, because I'm not in a sprint to get to my health. This is a long-term scenario, right? So again, I'm sorry this video was so long. This is the conversation I'm having with a lot of my clients. So I know if you're in the 5-in-1 prison, you need to hear that it's not a prison. And if you're in prison, break out. Don't let your body do that, because you're not even getting healthy anyway. You're trashing your metabolism. Learn how to eat balanced every 3 hours. Use our fuelings as tools to fill in the balanced things you're learning how to eat out of the grocery store, and keep working toward optimal health, which is balancing your blood sugar every 3 hours through nutrition. That's real health. So thank you for sticking with me. As a reminder, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, click the subscribe button. If you liked anything I had to say, click like, or I hope you liked it. Don't click unlike, down arrow. Or you know what? Come join Gather with Gwen, and you'll hear new things that I do as I go. So, like I say, and again, I don't have my shirt on. My motto is just don't quit. That came from people quit because they don't get it. You've probably quit on the 5-in-1 because you didn't get that our program isn't the 5-in-1. Our program is balanced eating every 3 hours. So I hope this video, if you stuck with me, helped you remember, just don't quit. Keep asking questions. Figure out what's not working for you, because if you're not doing well on our program, the 5-in-1 or whatever you're doing, you're going to see the same issues show up in every other diet you try in the future, because it's not about the food. It's about the dialogue in your head and figuring it out. So just don't quit on your health, because if you don't and you keep learning and educating yourself, you will finally be at a healthy weight and feel good. And we know that there's so much more to happiness than just weight. But what if you could take weight off your plate because you just are eating balanced and healthy, and whenever you get to that goal weight, it doesn't matter because you know you're fueling your body for optimal health. That's what I want for you as my follower, and I want you to just not quit, because that's the key to success and health, is not quitting. So thanks for sticking with me. Please comment below, and again, let go of the scale if you're letting go of the 5-in-1. But if you already are on the 5-in-1 and failing, you're still not getting the results anyway. So stop the madness and find what works for you within the blood sugar balance, so you don't feel like you're in prison and continuing to fail. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.
At Optavia, our mission is to offer the world lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. The following audio contains personal testimonials of independent coaches and clients within the Optavia community. Their results are based on the unique experiences of their journey. We cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. We hope these stories inspire you to continue your journey with or join Optavia, but please note that they have not been verified and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you speak with a healthcare provider or doctor prior to beginning your journey with Optavia.